thanks for tuning into F1 Podcast. We're up to episode 86 now, and Max, with 2 races to go, I'll tell you what, I was thinking during the week the season has flown past.
You were thinking?
Yeah, I was.
Amazing. Awesome.
And the season has absolutely flown past. I can't believe there's only 2 races left, and here we are in Shanghai. Well, we're in Sydney, but the race is in Shanghai, the Shang. And mate, how are you feeling? First of all, about the fact that there's 2 races to go, and second of all, about the Shanghai circuit.
Well, the fact that there's 2 races to go sucks. I actually watched Backyard Chinese review from a year ago, video this morning.
Did we say we didn't like the circuit and it annoyed us slightly?
I was waiting for it, but we didn't. We didn't slag the circuit off at all.
But we're about to.
Well, yes. Yeah, so man, a bit disappointed there's only 2 races to go, because as we all know, it's a horrible off-season. We hope to help out with that by doing a couple of videos in the off-season, but
yes,
that's for another time. Yeah, only two to go. I don't like the Chinese circuit particularly, Pep, primarily because I'm shit at it when it comes to racing around in F1 CE.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, mate. Your thoughts?
Yeah, Max, I thought we'd said this before, that we weren't a big fan of the circuit, and you know, it has got some interesting parts, but overall I just find it boring. It's another Herman Tilke creation that just doesn't provide exciting racing. Yeah, Herman the German, and it's not really the circuit, it's really the exciting racing, and it doesn't really provide it. I mean, it's spectacular with those things going over the start-finish straight, but otherwise I'm not a big fan of it, Max.
Yeah, this is a circuit that you know, the tyres on a lot of the cars tend to grain quite a bit, which makes for a pretty exciting race. I think Lewis Hamilton would agree, and McLaren would agree, that there was a lot of graining and a lot happening last year, mate, on their car. Oh, sorry, that's right. His tyres are actually bald at the end. Good one, McLaren.
Oh, he was graining as he went into the
gravel.
Yeah.
Come on, Lewis, you can bounce back.
Yeah, well, speaking of Lewis, Max, I mean, looking this week, we sat down and talked about what we were going to talk about in this video, mate, and Lewis has been under so much pressure, and that was kind of number 1 on our list. All sorts of drivers, Mark Webber, Jarno Trulli, Kubica, all sorts of guys giving Lewis some stick.
Flavio Briatore.
Flavio giving him some stick. So
you'll screw this up again, you watch. Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, Flavio really gave it to him, and
tell us what you think, Flav. Sorry.
As usual.
I love it. I love Flavio. I think he's great.
Flavio's great for that. He always says what's happening. But there's no doubt that the kid's under pressure, and also, mate, there's little doubt in the pit lane at least that he's an arrogant so-and-so, and there's a lot of people who are really pissed off with his attitude, let alone what's going on with, you know, going off and things like that. But let's face it, Max, regardless of whether you love the guy or not, the people in the pit lane are a little bit pissed at him at the moment, I've got to say.
They're firing up, there's no doubt about it. You know, he's in with the shot this evening, and you know, he's talking tough and all this sort of thing, and you know, there's a lot of guys out there that have said a few things. As I said, Flavio was pretty vocal in what he said. Lewis just needs to concentrate on doing what he needs to do to win this World Championship. I completely ignore everything anyone said,
and just get on with it. Yeah,
just go for it.
Yeah, that's what I do too. Yeah.
You know, when people criticise me, I'm only joking. No one criticises me, but yeah, I mean, the guy's got to you know, do what he's doing, and I mean, let's not forget, of course he's under pressure, and this time last year, mate, he pretty much threw it away. I hope history doesn't repeat itself for Lewis, and I'm hoping that they've learnt some lessons from last year.
Yeah, I agree, Max. I think they need to keep it calm and focus on the championship. But you know, Lewis is someone who's an aggressive driver, and history shows in F1 that if you're the meek and mild, unless you're Nico Hakkinen, there's been a few meek and mild drivers who have done pretty well, but the aggressive ones tend to do really well. And Lewis is an aggressive guy, and whether you like it or not, he is aggressive, and a lot of drivers don't like it.
Mate, you don't.
And he needs to play his cards right. He can't do what happened last year.
You don't win a world championship by sitting back and holding off. I mean, you just don't. You know, Lewis is, I mean, he's such a prodigious talent. From reading your guys' comments, he seems to be a bit of a polarising character. Half of you love him, half of you don't.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I mean, Lewis has just got to concentrate on his own race, I guess, or races to come. and he's doing that. I mean, he's got a lot of racing experience. But it'll be interesting to see if there's any spanners thrown into the works, mate. This is not a foregone conclusion that he'll win at Shanghai.
Yeah, exactly. And Alonso's saying, he'll do whatever it takes to help Massa win. So,
gee, what a surprise!
There's lots of banter in the press. Yeah, who could have guessed that? Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I love it. He wins 2 races. One was gifted him, but the other one he won fair and square. He's on a high, Alonso, and he's always good for a soundbite, mate.
He is,
but
mate.
Yeah, I'll help Felipe.
I'll do what I can, yeah.
You've got to be in a position to help Felipe, so let's hope that Fernando Alonso was up there or thereabouts.
All right, Max. Well, before we talk about our tips and a few more things about the Chinese Grand Prix, there was a couple of driver confirmations this week. We had Sutil and Fisichella confirmed at Force India, and also the 2 BMW drivers. And I'll start things off by saying that I wasn't surprised about the BMW drivers. I think that Nick is still a quick driver and needs... he's still quick, Max.
Quick Nick.
Yeah.
Oh, you're hilarious.
So that was a no-brainer for me. But the Fisichella decision I was a little bit surprised about. I was a big fan of Fisichella at the start of his career, and I really thought he'd be a big driver in Formula One, and he never made it. And for the last 2 years he hasn't really been there. And VJ, I think, can make a better decision, Max, in a younger driver, or they've pretty much done with Fisichella, so I was surprised about that. A little bit by Sutil, but he's a kid and he needs some time, but mainly by Fisichella, Max.
Yeah, I mean, you and I were discussing off camera today about Fisi's re-signing with Force India, and we were discussing that if Vijay Mallya and his team haven't got as much information as they need out of Fisichella after 1 year, all that testing, all the race data,
bled him dry.
If they haven't bled him dry by now, I don't know when they're ever going to do that. And I like Fizzy, don't get me wrong, but the argument that VJ's always put forward we're drawing on Fisichella's experience. He's an old hand. We're learning a lot from him. If you can't learn that in a year and then toss him off because he's not doing too much. I don't know what other excuse you need, mate. So yeah, I was a bit surprised by Fizzy, as I'm sure I'll be as surprised by Honda resigning Barrichello if that happens.
Oh, please say it won't happen. But anyway. So yeah, there was a couple of driver movements this week, and obviously there'll be more to come. But mate, let's talk about our tips now. Let's talk about who's going to win the Chinese Grand Prix.
In the hot seat.
In the hot seat, baby.
Right.
And I was thinking about it, and really, I just want there to be a spicy end to the championship, Max.
You were thinking about it and thought, gee, I hope Ian Davidson
comes
still
back,
racing.
please. No, I want there to be a spicy end in Brazil, and there to be sort of either of them to win it. So I'm calling Felipe to win the race, mate. Mm-hmm. I think that he's going to. I think he's going to do well in this race. I think everyone's going to be a bit cooler. They're not going to be as feisty as they were in the last Grand Prix. So Massa from Lewis, mate, to win the race.
Okay.
Lewis in P2.
Well, you're a man of impeccable judgment, and that's why I've agreed with you. I think Felipe Massa will win this race, and I'm ignoring the practice times and the like. But to me, Felipe Massa has just as much reason to fight for a win at this race than Lewis Hamilton does. There's 5 points in it at the end of the day, and we've got 2 very quick drivers out there who've got all the motivation in the world that they need, and I think Kimi, providing he stays on the track and doesn't fall asleep as he's done of late, I think if Kimi stays on track, he'll probably be ahead of Heikki Kovalainen. I've said it, no?
Yeah.
So I think he'll help Massa, so I think Massa will win, and I think Lewis will come second though.
Well, mate, I'm calling Kimi for the podium as well. So, basically 2 Ferraris and Lewis splitting them. So, that means that Brazil's going to be very exciting. But Kimi right up there as well for the podium.
Yeah, I've picked Kimi. We've got the same pick, so I picked Kimi for third as well. And keeping with my theory that I think that Ferrari will win the Constructors' Championship. So yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting race, no doubt about it. It always is the Chinese Grand Prix, and if there's anything happens here like it did last year at the Chinese race, I think we're in for a hell of a time.
Alright guys, well those are our tips, and we'll have this video up before the race, so let us know what you think. Who's going to win?
Enjoy the race tomorrow.
Okay, see you guys.
See ya.
Bye.